Good morning, Unity Center of Spiritual Growth. How are you doing today? Was it warm enough for you yesterday? It was for me, that's for sure. All right, we're going to sing a couple of songs, and we invite you to sing along with us. The first one is called Show Me Your Ways. Show me your ways, that I may walk with you. Show me your ways. I put my hope in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to live with the touch of your hand, stronger each day. Show me your ways. Show me your ways, that I may walk with you. Show me your ways. I put my hope in you. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to live with the touch of your hand, stronger each day. Show me your ways. The cry of my heart is to love you more, to live with the touch of your hand, stronger each day. Show me your ways, stronger each day. Show me your ways, stronger each day. Show me your ways. Yeah, we're going to move into this next song now, because when we ask God to show us the way to live by the touch of God's hand, sometimes that gets a little scary, doesn't it? It's like, I don't know what's going to happen next. So this song is called I Feel the Fear. I feel
often does that resonate? I feel the fear and do it anyway. That's really talking about the virtue of courage, isn't it? Yeah. And how often it takes courage just to wake up and show up on a Sunday morning, or on a Monday morning sometimes, a Tuesday. It takes courage to live a human life in conjunction with a spiritual life. So thank you for being here with me as we learn how to do both those things. Unity is really a place of connection where we connect to spirit, to source, to God, whatever it is that you call the source. We also connect to each other. And then we connect to ourselves too. It's a place where we can connect. I got a phone call this week from Reverend Dennis Ashley, our former minister. And it was a phone call for him that took a little bit of courage because he was kind of nervous to call me and to tell me that he had taken a voluntary minister position at Spokane Unity, for those of you that hadn't heard. And I could tell he was a little nervous when he called, and I asked him, I said, are you concerned with maybe how this might make me feel or how it might make everyone else at Coeur d'Alene Unity feel? And he said, yes, yes. He was concerned and worried about what other people would think of his actions. How many of us have that same experience on the daily, worrying about what other people think about us? We put so much energy into that sometimes, where we worry and we ruminate. What are they going to think about this? Are they going to think badly of me? And the truth is that we have no control, zero control over what someone else thinks, what someone else says, and what someone else does. And so that is the art of detachment, detaching ourselves from what other people think, because it has nothing to do with us. And this made me think of that book, The Four Agreements, by Don Miguel Ruiz. Thank you. And I wrote it down just so I would remember it. But he says, what others say or do is a reflection of their own experiences, beliefs, and emotions, not a statement about us. Their words may feel sharp, their judgment may sting, but what if, just for today, you chose not to take it personally? I mean, just imagine walking through your life as an observer rather than a collector of emotional baggage. That when someone criticizes you, instead of absorbing those words and that energy like a sponge, if we let go and just let it pass through us. Letting go is one of the most difficult things, at least I have found on my spiritual journey. Every day I'm learning how to let go on a deeper level, because some people are really hard to let go of. Some situations are hard to let go of. Some emotions are hard to let go of. And it was hard for our community to let go of Reverend Dennis, because we loved him. We appreciated the service that he gave here. But part of letting go of what was allows what is to come in, the new to come in. And we are on a new journey here at Unity as we call in a new minister. And you'll start to see over the next month or so, we're going to start having some of the ministers who are interested in ministering here at Unity come in to speak. Today, that starts the first process. You'll also see some of those ministers give the blessing, give the reading, give the message. for a way for us to get to know and embrace the new potential ministers into our community. And so those virtues, our courage, our patience, our detachment, can carry us quite a long way as we're in this transition period. So I thank you for your grace and your patience and all of those wonderful attributes that you guys carry here at Unity. I invite you to close your eyes. And take a deep breath in. Fill your lungs with air. And settle into more of a space of calm. Imagine yourself standing at the shore of a peaceful lake. You see the waves of the lake gently lapping up onto the shore. And this movement reminds you of the flow of life, how things come in and then they go out, and something else comes in and it goes out. This is the rhythm of life, our rhythm. Now picture a boat on the lake, and in this boat, you've decided to cast all of your worries, all of the burdens that you've put in your backpack, everything that you've been weighing, everything that you've allowed to accumulate. You gently, with grace and reverence, set into the boat. I want you to thank those worries. They served a purpose at one time, but we are letting go of that now. We are learning to embrace a new state of mind, one that does not ruminate, but one that expands in peace and acceptance. And as you watch that boat with your worries float away, you begin to feel lighter, and you separate from the boat, from your burdens, and you watch it sail off so that you are left in a place of peace, in a place of divine balance. And you breathe in and you exhale deeply and let go a little more. And you say, either aloud or to yourself, I release the need to take things personally. I am free from the weight of others' words and actions. I walk in peace, knowing I am whole, worthy, and untethered to expectations. I stand in my truth with confidence and ease. Divine Spirit, thank you for the gift of clarity and wisdom. Guide us in releasing the weight of judgment, and may we find peace in our own truth. Help us remember that others' words and actions are reflections of themselves, and not of us. Grant us the strength to stand firm in self-love and in patience, the grace to respond with compassion, and the wisdom to detach from negativity. May we move forward with a light heart, with joy, and embracing the freedom that comes with letting go. May we see each soul with understanding, knowing that each of us is on a unique journey. And may we embrace this knowledge with loving acceptance. And so it is. Amen. Today, introducing our guest speaker is Laura Rose Gage.
Morning. I'm just going to say wow real quick. Connor and I have a little bit of an inside joke about introductions, which is that we typically don't introduce each other with a story about who we are. We just say, that's Connor. And then people go, yeah, but who is he to you? And I go, he's Connor. That's him. We're both mystics. We are not fond of labels or boxes. And that confuses pretty much everyone else. But when Amber asked me to do this, my heart, of course, immediately jumped in and said, say this. So I do have something to introduce him with. Connor reminds me of Coyote. I find him in the stories of the Columbia River tribes here. In them, Coyote laughs and plays, follows his curiosity, and often rescues whole villages on accident. Some call Coyote a trickster. I see him as a paradox who knows and understands what is really going on here without taking it too seriously. The naturalness and wildness of Coyote is about trust and faith. Coyote and Connor walk through this world trusting the path will rise to meet them and trusting the wholeness of life that moves through them. Connor knows life is a paradox, and over again, he chooses to point his arrow towards God, source, love. I have been blessed to have many what he calls the one conversations with him. These conversations inspire freedom, joy, and trust in my life. And I am so excited that he is here today to have that conversation with us. Thank you.
You know, I thought it was going to be muskrat. I did. Are we good? We good? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How is everyone doing? How are you? Good. Yeah, good? Okay. Made me a little teary. So, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. Thank you. My name is Connor Keys. We had a patient yesterday in here who said, so you're one of the people who've applied to be minister, huh? And I said, how did you know? He said, it's a small town. So, it's a small town. So, yes, I am that young whippersnapper who done gone applied to spend time with you all and love you all. So, my name is Connor Keys. I was racking my brain over what to do this talk about. And I was talking to Lauren about it, like, philosophizing and this and that. And she said, well, you wrote a book. You could do it on that. And I said, look at that. Yes, indeed, I did. I'm going to tell you a story. There may be a couple moments here where I say True story. True story. This is a true story. Okay. This is a true story. Okay, who knows that experience where you wake up from a dream and it may not necessarily be images and visions or all that kind of stuff. You don't wake up with this conscious memory of what you've just dreamt, but you wake up with a phrase or a sentence or something like that. Anybody have that experience? So sometimes for me, that is what happens. And I woke up from a dream on November 27th, 2023, with the sentence in my head: you will write a book called Trusting Your Foundation. And I sat that morning and I began writing, and 11 days later, all 20,000 words of this book were finished. That's pretty weird. That's not the way that so I'd had aspirations and visions of being a writer and an author, but there's no way that I thought that that's how it was going to happen, right? So surprise and delight. Yes, the book, okay, all right. I would really love for this to have been more of like a 6-hour workshop than with maybe like a good lunch in the middle, but I've got timekeepers watching me. Okay, yeah, woo. Okay, so the book is essentially about there's three central premises of this book. When I'm stopped on an elevator, and this happens to come up on an elevator for whatever reason, I say it's a book about faith. It's a book about remembering who and what it is we are, why we came here, what we're doing here, where we came from, did I already say that one? And where we're going when it's all over. So, basic stuff, right? I'm going to start us off here with premise 1. This premise is actually maybe the toughest of the three, and that is that it's deceivingly simple. There's big. Don't worry, I'll read it. There's big implications, philosophical implications for why there would be one single way of being in the world which greases the wheels. We here, at this kind of a congregation, of what most people would call, a sociologist would call, SBNR, spiritual but not religious. Okay? We've got, where is it? I want to use my laser pointer and point at the, we love all faiths here. We see all faiths as a representation, an expression of something, the importance of some kind of relationship with something, and we don't care. This is one of the mottos that I've had for mine and Laura's ministry, which is called Life in the Heart, is that I don't care what you call it, but I care that you care about it. So, if there's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels, it might kind of tip the scales towards wondering, well, are you saying that there's one right way, Connor? Yes, I am. And that's a little problematic, right? Here's the thing. No one else can know what that is for you, right? And yet, it is still an expression of one thing. There's one thing going on here. And this right way, this way of being in the world that greases the wheels, what does it do? It arises naturally from within you when you allow it to. It's automatic. It's natural. It's universal. It's real. For real, right? And this is the reason why this premise is so dear to me is that we often, in Unitarian kind of circles like this, can run into a kind of relativism where we say, this is my truth. Nothing against that. And I would say that whatever it is that's truthful about your truth is true, is true, and is true by being virtue of the fact that truth is truth. You with me? No? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So, that's what I love about this, right? Is that, I'm going to say this, that hopefully it's my sincere, quasi-sadistic hope that our minds can be flipped inside out at least a couple times in the course of this conversation, okay? Because whatever this way of being is that is natural and easy for each of us, that feels good and feels right, faith, call it trust. It's not something you have to figure out. And it's not something you will ever get at with your conscious mind. It's a way of being in the world. It's not a way of thinking about the problems that we think that we have, right? So that's pretty cool, I think. And, how cool would it be if God wrote into the fabric of reality that each of us has this, a natural way of being in the world that is unique to each of us, and yet is somehow one singular expression of itself. It's pretty cool. Premise 2. There's something else entirely going on here. So, I think this one, people of faith and or religious people or spiritual people kind of know this. And yet, if my premise 1 was based on the fact that our faith, I'm gonna lump all y'all together. Our faith is not necessarily contingent upon what I believe, the particulars or the nomenclature, the jargon, the creeds of what we believe. It's actually something natural. It's actually something deeply human, which we can get in touch with. Well, then that must mean God has less to do with anything that I could ever write down in a book, and more to do with something innate in you. So God just got a little bigger. Yay. You with me? Yeah. Okay. Spiritual people understand this, right? And we can go quantum mechanics, we can go simulation theory. There's something else entirely going on here, other than what my senses tell me, right? That's kind of a lot of what we point at, what we get at when we do a meditation, when we say a prayer, when we try and get in touch with this way of life, right? Doesn't matter how you do it. Does it even matter that you're doing it? That's a little bit of a paradox. We'll get to there. If there's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels, and it's natural, it actually is, I promise, natural and easy to you. And there's something else entirely going on here, then I wonder what kind of medicine might be in there for us when we trust, when we allow ourselves to be. I don't know if you saw the subtitle in my book. My subtitle in my book is Effortless Transformation, Radical Authenticity, and Unconditional Flow. So maybe kind of a tall order, but the radical authenticity part is what Amber was talking about, right? If there's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels, that's not something that you have to figure out, right? Where's it coming from? Who put it there? What's going on here? Not what you think. Not what you think, but what you feel, yes. And what you already know, yes. Okay. This is the last photo that I ever got to take with my mother. She passed August 21st, 2022. She was a dental hygienist, and then a nurse, and then a high school teacher, and then a hospice nurse, and then a middle school teacher, and this was us the day, I'm not kidding. And she didn't just hop, those were all careers. She died at 67. And this was the day that she was setting up to be the middle school teacher. She taught healthcare. She was a nurse, so she went on to teaching in high school. She went on to teaching healthcare occupations. And this was us setting up for her middle school. So, okay, I've always been considered kind of a freak when it comes to grief. Because people ask me, they say, I'm so sorry. I say, why? Why are you sorry? First of all, take it back. I don't want it. You're sorry. That's a whole other discussion. I don't want your sorry. And two, why would I be sorry? Yeah, of course I miss her, right? And there's something else going on here. There's a narrative, there's a story, this natural way, this life that I think that I'm living includes that my mom would pass when I was 31. She went from healthy to dead in a week. Yeah. And that's the normal line is, I'm sorry. And when I say, why are you sorry? I kid you not, that was a good one, Leanne, that was good. By the way, her name was Leanne. And I know, I've already told her that. She knows. So if I can place my faith in something so big, something deep enough, something which I believe is real enough to afford me ease and flow, even in moments of my mother passing, come on, folks. I got the DNR call from the doctor, not once, but twice, because she started her heart up again. Which my thought is, when you love your son that much, how do you say I love you too when you can't speak? So, I'm an only child, you know what I mean? And yet, we say things like, how would they want you to feel? Right? We ask ourselves, like, would they want you to be sad like this? Sad. Our grief is only our problem. And our grief can often be no more than a gripping on to the things that we think we need to have control of in order to feel good and better about where life has brought us naturally, automatically. Life is happening, and my life included this. And I love it. I know it's strange. It's strange, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I damn sure know, she wouldn't either. I can tell you stories. So the question is, if I were to ask a rhetorical question, can you feel it? Can you feel that thing within you which has the ability to rise to the occasion and rise to the surface in these moments of grief and meet you such that you are infinitely, seriously, infinitely resourced, right? Knowing that there's nothing wrong here, then rock on. If I asked you if you can feel that, you would say, I'm not saying for all of you, I'm saying you'd be like, yeah. And the answer is yes, you can. Yes, you can, I promise you. You can't not, actually, because it's the nature of reality. It's the nature of consciousness. It's the nature of life. And here we are. How cool is that? By the way, speaking of here we are, let me tell a story. Remember how I said, true story? True story, true story, true story? Oh, shucks. Hold that thought. So, conscious mind. So, right, if I were to buy into this linear, sequential life of mine that happens in time and space, where there's limited resources, like the time I get to spend with my mother, like the causes of her death being, like there's something wrong there. These are finite resources that I'm dealing with. The fact that I can't hug my mother anymore. Just using this as an example, just saying, guys. What are the conditions, right? Why would I grieve when my mother gets to be with me wherever I go now? Just saying, right? This is what your intellect is telling you is going on here. This is what your mind is telling you is happening in this very moment. Knock on wood, sticks and stones, little atomic billiard balls bouncing around in Newtonian, Brownian motion. Okay, it feels solid. It feels real. The chair upon which you sit feels real. And guess what? The good thing is it's as real as it's going to get. That's cool. That's plenty. That's plenty, but I don't have to use my conscious mind to pour this weight into it that tells me that I'm not safe or I don't have anything to trust in if these conditions aren't being met. Okay? So, if there's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels and it's natural and universal and automatic, it's a cosmology, big stories here we're talking about, big stories that inform a life, that inform a way of being. It doesn't really look like this. I'll show you what it looks like towards the end of the talk, okay? Here we go. True story. True story, true story. What if I could convince you that this was you? There's pictures. Sorry, y'all. I'm not sorry. Never mind. You can have it back. What if I convinced you that this was you? Not when I say you. Do I mean this particular person? No. Do I mean no? This is a metaphor, because I can't use language to get at what's actually going on here. I can use language to point at it, and what your heart knows. See the thread that we're weaving here? That there's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels. You don't have to figure it out. What if I could convince you that this was you, and here you are in some sort of virtual reality headset looking at what you think are your hands, or sitting on what you think is that chair, standing on what you think is this stage. True story. You were sitting on a rock in heaven. Am I still here? You were sitting on a rock in heaven some time before you were born. And you say to your friend, which is sort of a tongue-in-cheek kind of a thing, because everything in heaven is just a projection of one singular unified consciousness. So it doesn't make sense to talk about time. It doesn't make sense to talk about people other than you, friends. It's all just one thing. But bear with me. You're sitting on a rock in heaven talking to your friend, and you say to your friend, just because I want to and because it's kind of fun, I'm going to maybe like genderize it a little bit. I'm going to say, dude, I had this dream. And in this dream, there was like this thing. There's this thing, and it was in front of me, and it was not me. It was like separate from me. But it was this thing, and I was here, and I think it was there, right? And the friend says, yeah, that's called separation. That's called separation. People are really into that. There's this place called Earth. There's this place called Earth where people go. It's the hottest roller coaster in the multiverse. You ought to see the line for it. Y'all with me? Everybody with me? I love it. This is good. Okay. There was this thing, and your friend says, well, I know, that's called separation. You probably experienced like a little bit because you thought it was this thing. Well, my God, people go to Earth, and they experience this force field called time that they think that they're living in, and then they think that other people are other people. It's so weird. and you say to, here we go, your friend's like, what's the big deal? And you say, well, I'm hooked. You're telling me I can get more of this stuff? You're telling me there's a roller coaster made out of this stuff, separation? I'm going to go. And your friend says, no, you wouldn't do that. That's insane. That's insane. He said, no, I'm hooked. I'm doing it. And so you jump to the front of the line. And like I said, there's a line. And yeah, you jump to the front of the line. Just because it says in the good book, there's St. Peter. And St. Pete, says, whoa, 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 buddy. I see you're very enthusiastic. And we got to get something straight here before you go jumping into pure separation. Time, oh my gosh, conditional love. Conditional love, I don't know. I want you to know that, we're going to cut to the chase. I want you to know that most people who go on this ride, and when I say most people, I mean most people misuse the conscious mind, the intellect that they're given when they come here, and they lose it. They freak out. They lose their mind. I mean, look at them, right? So, by the way, these are our patented SVRAI-RCGs. They are spiritual virtual reality artificial intelligence roller coaster goggles. And as you can tell, most people freak out. And the funny thing is, St. Pete says, the funny thing is, we've sent God Almighty down in multitude of forms, reminding them to lighten up, become like children. You must become like children. Be childlike imitators of God. Right? The entire Tao Te Ching is about having what's called Shang Da, or the superior virtue of the child. And yet we lose it. So, right? And you say, I don't care, I'm doing it. I had the dream. This is what's next for me on my path. Which is ironic because you don't have a path. Not there, right? You might think we do here, but there's something else going on here, right? Okay. So, you say, I'm signing it. What do I have to sign in order to sign up? Well, okay. I know, we're very silly. Here's where I get really serious. We have a cultural story. There's narratives that we live by. Maybe not the automatic and natural way of being in the world that greases the wheels. There's stories that we inherit, right? About how to be and what life means. And one of those stories that we have inherited, especially in our SBNR, spiritual but not religious, New Age, New Thought, whatever you people are, in this culture that we're trying to enculturate and foster and nourish and nurture here, right? And elsewhere, all over the planet. And that is a soul contract. Anybody ever heard the concept of a soul contract? Okay. Well, the funny thing about this concept of a soul contract is that we act like it's a contract that obligates you to perform. Those are called performances in a contract, right? And we say, well, I've got to learn this lesson. 25? What does that mean? That's what I have 25 minutes left? No. All right. That's fantastic. Okay, folks. All right. What did I say? 6-hour workshop? So there's... no, we're going to do it. Watch. Okay. The thing about this soul contract is not that it's obligating you to be here in any particular way whatsoever. And this is one of the things that we who are fostering a spiritual culture of a way to be in the world, I feel, no judgment, I feel that we sometimes misuse these conscious minds of ours, and we go believing that there's something riding on your experience here, that you can mess it up, in other words. And go back to the person on the rock. Why did you come here? It's a story. I'm telling you all a story. True story, true story. Why did you come here?
The ride. Let's do it.
Because it'd be fun. Yeah, exactly. Because you thought it'd be fun. Because you thought it'd be fun. So what is it that these people know that you don't? Hello. What is it that these people know that you don't? What is the foundational knowledge and wisdom that you came in here with? Right? The book is called Trusting Your Foundation. So what is the foundational knowledge and wisdom that you came in here with that we go from being these people to being freaked out? Right? The answer is a bit of a paradox. The answer is a bit of a paradox because the answer is nothing. These people don't know anything that you don't know. I don't know anything that you don't know. No one knows anything that you don't know or that you need to know. There's nothing that you need to know. There are no obligations in that soul contract. It's tongue-in-cheek. Heaven's got a sense of humor. It's a liability waiver and informed consent. Informed consent in heaven is top-notch. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah. So, premise 3. Has anybody seen my shirt? Okay. I don't have the guts to wear it on stage. I framed this in a slightly in a different way. There is no way you could possibly mess this up. All of the pressure that we put on ourselves about how to be and who to be and what to be, when, where, why, it's all baloney. Like actually baloney, right? It's actually baloney. So we're wrapping it up here. These are these characteristics of the conscious mind, which we think that we're experiencing. We think that this is real. And the real you knows, just like those children, the foundational knowledge and wisdom that you came in here with, that life is an invitation to trust in. You with me? Is this. Your time here is finite and limited, but your essence is infinite and eternal. And we pay lip service to that often. We pay lip service to it. And it's a different kind of a thing, I think, when we let that intuitive, very real thing. Who is it that said it? It's the still small voice. It's the still small voice. Follow me there. There's a way of coming at this that's slightly different, that really does buy into it completely. You can put all your eggs actually in this basket. You really can. And you can live a life from here. There's a way of being in the world that greases the wheels. And the contents of your conscious mind will never get you here. They don't get you there, right? Do you see why maybe I wanted this to be a 6-hour workshop? Which is funny because the audiobook for the book is an hour and a half. So I don't know. Anyway, my friends, I love you. Thank you so much. We do acupuncture here on Saturdays, 11 to 5, and on Fridays, Laura and I host Life in the Heart Ministries. She's also the acupuncturist too, by the way, for Saturdays. And on Fridays, we meet right here at 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Just a chant, yeah. Thank you, Connor. We're going to prepare for meditation now. Connor's going to lead us in a meditation, but first we're going to sing a little chant together. Please join us. It's called I Release Control. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me.
Let's take this time to arrive and to be here. What does it feel like to be here? I'm going to remind you that you exist. Isn't that cool? You exist, and you are here in this moment now. Again, what does that feel like to know that you exist? It sounds simple, doesn't it? And good thing it is. It's actually incredibly simple. Our mind wanders, of course, it does. And we might feel ourselves being pulled in different directions. Those directions in which we're pulled are a figment of our imagination, in some sense. I know. It's weird. That's the point. I'm going to take the liberty of counting us down. And there's this thing. I'm going to remind you that there's this thing inside of you. Nobody knows what it's called. Do, 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 do. Nobody knows. Not with language. And yet we do know exactly what it is. And it's inside of you now. And it's inside of this moment in which you find yourself. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, this imaginary metaphysical object, this thing, whatever this is, this life, call it what you want. This thing inside of you is going to be felt and real. And you're going to remember that you know. 3. We're going there. 2. You can feel it now. 1. That was easy. This thing is never not there. You are never not where you are, just as you are in this moment now, here. Feel that. It's very simple. It's very available. It's not even something that you have to get in touch with. All I did was count from 3 to 1. This is you. This is you. I'm going to count us up from 1 to 3. When we get to 3, we're going to be refreshed, feeling good. 1, 2, 3. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. Amen.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation above the tumult and the strife. I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation above the tumult and the strife. I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest loudly hear the truth exhibit? What though the darkness round the close songs wonders in lighted give? No stone can shake
Thank you. As I sat listening to three voices singing different words in different ways, and I thought, this is really what we're all meant to do. What Connor's message was talking about is to sing the song that your soul is telling you to sing. And that when we all come together and sing our song in our individual ways, it's a beautiful harmony, a beautiful piece of music that mankind makes. Thank you, Connor. That's what I got from your message. And I'm so glad I can't mess it up. Woo! Woo! Wow. Woo. Thank goodness. It is love offering time. If you are able to share of your financial blessings with us here at Unity, we genuinely do appreciate it. This work, this ministry doesn't happen without financial support, so we do greatly appreciate it. If you will all join together to affirm our divine love statement together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I receive. And so it is.
So we ask that you join us in singing one more time on 100 Ways. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways coming to me. I embrace my good and I do believe. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. My good is coming to me. My good is coming to me.
We're still passing it around. Getting those 100 ways. There really are a lot of ways good comes to us. And financially, this is really one way. It is an important way in the world we live in. If you'll join me in blessing these love offerings. Divine Spirit, thank you for these financial gifts. We know that all those who give receive in abundance. And we know that sometimes we have so much to give, and we do, we give.
And sometimes we don't have it financially to give, and that is okay too. We find other ways to give. We give of our time, we give of our energy, and we give of ourselves. We're just so grateful for all of the ways that we can give to one another to help uplift not just this ministry, but to uplift each other when we give a smile, when we give a hug, or when we give that understanding nod of I feel what you're feeling in this moment. Continue to bless us in these ways so that we are overflowing in prosperity, in abundance, in each moment, knowing enough that we can continue to give to one another, to give to ourselves, and to give love to all we meet. And so it is. Amen.
Hello, I'm Susie Hicks and I'm your celebration assistant today. So welcome to Unity, and we're so happy to have you with us. If this is your first visit, thank you for joining us today, and feel free to raise your hand and our greeters will gladly provide you with a welcome packet containing more information about Unity. If this is your first time joining us online, we appreciate you spending your time with us today. To let us know you're here, just simply click the Connect with Us button and it'll take you to the link. You can find it in the synopsis tab of the website streaming window. And if you're watching through YouTube or Facebook, the link is available in the menu on our website. Now, let me introduce today's music ensemble. They are Julie Croteau, Gwen Gathercole, Debbie Ravy, and Leanne Erlin Moore. So thank you. We are blessed with a great musical talent here. Also, I would like to thank everyone else who makes this Sunday service possible. We appreciate all of you. And today we would like to honor the volunteers on our office staff. And if you are on this team, would you please stand? Oh, yes. Yes, they're working hard for us. Okay, well, and of course we definitely want to thank Geraldine and Amber. So, I also, at Unity, we believe in the power of prayer. If you have a prayer request, please fill out a prayer request form and put it in one of our prayer vessels in the hallway. We will pray over them for a week and then send them to Unity, to Silent Unity, where they will be prayed over for a month. And we also have prayer chaplains available. Our chaplains will offer you a calm, non-judgmental, and confidential presence to confide in during times of need. Will our prayer chaplains for today please stand? Perfect. There you go. They will be available in the nursery and in the meditation room after the service. And it's time for our announcements. Our bulletin includes an event schedule along with descriptions of the various groups and activities going on here at Unity. These events and groups are excellent ways to connect with others and foster stronger community relationships. I would like to call attention to a few of these. And that's one of the first things I did when I came to Unity, was become part of groups, because it really does foster some stronger relationships. So for a full view of what is happening here, go to our website, unitycenter.org. Today's Good Vibrations Sound Bath is being rescheduled. Join Reverend Conner Keys and Laura Gage on Fridays at 5:30 p.m. for Life in the Heart, a weekly gathering for challenging the stories that define us and encourage conversations that remind us of who we are. Saturday, June 7th is Pride in the Park. Unity will be there hosting a booth. So come on down and enjoy the fun. The guest speaker on Sunday, June 8th, is Reverend Gaia Swinford. She will present a message entitled, I Know Your Song Anywhere. And Gaia is a wonderful speaker, always with a good message, so I highly recommend being here. On Sunday, June 8th, after the service, we will conduct a spring cleanup to spruce up our outdoor spaces, and we have a beautiful outdoor space out there. So come dress for yard work. Lunch is provided in case the work isn't enough. Lunch is always a good inspiration as far as I'm concerned. And if you have any questions, see Amber. Okay. To add a little summer fun, we're offering a free movie night on Wednesday, June 18th at 6:30 p.m. The film feature is Evan Almighty. The film is free. Popcorn and snacks will be offered by donation. Our community garden is open for reservations, and there are still a couple of beds available. Actually, there are only 3 left. So to sign up, stop by Geraldine's office or talk to Roy. I know she was here back there. Yep, she's got her hand back up there. So talk to Roy. And we're starting to get into the season, so we want to make sure things get planted very soon. Okay, and the Gathering of the Water ceremony celebrates the deep connection we all share through water. This ritual invites you to bring water samples from the bodies of waters you've encountered throughout the spring and summer. As you explore, keep a small vial handy to connect samples for this fall ceremony. And with that, we will welcome the kids in if they are out there.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
What you did today?
So today we talked about fairies and we connected that to the elements and they all chose which one they embodied and we made these beautiful fairy flowers with Senna. So we had a good time today.
Great, thank you. Okay, kids, you want to go back to your families? I love those light up shoes. Get me a pair. All right, if you'll all stand and join us in the singing. Oh, did I not read? Oh, yeah. I totally forgot. I almost forgot to celebrate birthdays. Thank you, Julie.
God, that's the day we're born. The angels did the bump to Gabriel's horn. God,
Good thing I couldn't mess it up if I tried. Happy birthday, June birthdays. Now if you'll all stand and join us in the singing of the peace song. Prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen.